Alright, so we're gonna work on rainbow fish. So,
I practiced that a lot of times at home.
yeah, that's
I
good.
did over again. Last night I only got a little bit of practice because I was doing a lot of schoolwork.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Schoolwork gets in the way of practicing. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you start? Like, which octave would you start in? Would you start in this one?
No.
No, that'd be silly. So.
Yeah, it would be a quick song.
It would be a very quick song, you're right.
Yeah.
So. There's probably a few that you could start on. Would you start from this one?
Yeah. You could.
You could, but you know how after you do the first set, you have to jump down?
Yeah, but there's nothing here.
Right, so you wouldn't be able to do it there.
Yeah, so you would have to do this again.
Mm-hmm. And then it just sounds the same.
Yeah.
So
I can start from here.
You can start from there.
So
I think, though, that we want to start from here. Yeah, we want to start from here. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Here, let's just shift this so that...
Yeah, alright.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and when you play the keys, to help play them, think of dropping the entire weight of your arm into a key. Just take your index finger and just drop your finger into it. Using your entire hand and your wrist. Your arm as well, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try that for me. Yeah, but allow your arm to do a little more. That's good. Try doing that with your middle finger. Okay, see if you can do that throughout this song, and maybe that'll help you play it without the sound going away. You remember? Okay. Go ahead and play Rainbow Fish. Pretty good. That was really good. Okay, let's think. So, you notice how you did the first set, and it was 3, and then when you did the second set, you ended up doing 4? You started 1 too low. You ended in the right place. You just started 1 lower, and then you played 1 extra to get to the right place.
Yeah. I knew I ended here, so I had to get here, and I forgot which one I started at, so I started here.
Yeah, that's okay. That's something that you practice. Practicing where you start and where you're going is very, very important with these songs. You've done a really good job of playing at the same tempo. And not getting what's the word? Not rushing. You did a pretty good job of not rushing. Much better than last week. So, and then you also did the last notes 1 octave too low. It's these 2, not those 2. But that's okay. That's okay. I gave that to you very briefly at the end of rehearsal when we talked about that. I didn't really go over that with you in detail, but we can work on that. No problem. Okay, so with this song, like I said, you did a very good job of playing all the notes, and I could actually hear all the notes. I mean, there were a couple that didn't play as loudly, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Did dropping the arm down help you with that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad it did. Feel free to continue doing that. That's why we did the books, so that you would have a little more height, so that you'd actually be able to do that with your arms instead of being right here and not being able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps. So, one thing that we can work on with this song is playing it legato. Do you know what that word means?
No.
Okay. So, I can either play it like this. Or I can play it like this. Which one sounds better?
Number 2.
Number 2. Why does it sound better?
Because you're connecting the song together. Like connecting each note.
That's what legato means, is to connect each note. The opposite of legato is staccato, where every note is super short. Now, there's a reason we don't play the Rainbow Fish staccato, because that's not the feeling that we're going for.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
No, it doesn't sound that great, and it wouldn't really sound like a peaceful coral reef if we played it staccato.
Yeah, it would sound...
It would sound like a shark attack was happening or something.
It would be like a shark swimming. Well, it would be like a lot of fish, and it would probably like someone trying to catch the fish. So
Yeah.
they're spinning around.
We don't want anyone to catch the fish. We want the fish to live peacefully in the coral reef.
Yep.
So we can work on playing it legato. You were actually playing it legato for a good chunk of it, but there were just some times where certain notes didn't connect, in particular when you had to cross hands. And so that's something that you can practice, is making it legato through the crossing of the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you did a very good job. There's just like, even when I'm playing music that I'm working on, there's always things that I can improve on. Like one of the songs I'm playing right now, it sounds kind of like this. Oh no, that is wrong. But like, that song also has to be very legato and connected. It wouldn't sound that good if I played it staccato.
Yeah.
It has a certain feeling that it captures. The song is called Fireside Reverie, and it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be like a peaceful night sitting by the fireplace reading a book or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't actually know. But, and so we have to capture that feeling. And there are certain things that are hard for me with that, like, I have to make connections between like playing one note and two notes, and I have to make it sound connected. And so I'm having trouble. I'm having a challenge with that, just like you're having a challenge with getting a connection through jumping octaves.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You're doing a very good job. Did you work on steady beat?
Yeah. Yesterday I did.
That's good.
Dad kept a fast steady beat, and I played a little bit too fast with the fast one. But then when he did it a little slower, I could actually do it.
Yeah. Make sure that if he's gonna go faster, that you don't even have to play Rainbow Fish to every steady beat that he does. You can play your 5-finger exercises to those.
Actually, I was looking through my level 1 book. My other book is in my backpack right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found something, like, on the first page that's not, it's on 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mostly it's on 5. And we played the song. It was hard for me to read. And so,
Right.
good thing I did a practice one without the steady
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kept messing up, and so I had to restart a lot of times.
That's okay. That's what practicing requires sometimes. You also could very well be reading above your level because, like, Rainbow Fish, like, to read it, it would probably take you about a year to learn, like, how to read it. But I just showed you what to do with your hands, and you're figuring it out just fine.
Yeah.
There are certain things that are easier to learn by ear than they are to learn by reading.
Yeah.
And so that's why we take time practicing how to read before we start playing things that are difficult to read.
Yeah.
So why don't you get your book out and we can talk about reading sheet music a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see what time we got here. Well, I'm not sure if that's enough yet. We'll just keep it going. All right.
Somewhere in that book.
Well, let's take a look at this. Okay, I'm gonna switch sides because this can be played as a duet. Like, we can both play it at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Still on the black.
yep, that's okay.
On the white.
So why don't you say your right hand here and your left hand here. And then I will set mine. Hold on. Okay. So if we're gonna play this, we want to make sure to keep that steady beat. Let's just have you play your part first once and see if we can keep that steady beat. I'll just clap it for you. So 1 note per clap when it's the quarter notes, right?
Yeah. And 2.
Yep. Very good. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, I'm gonna tap your shoulder so that you can feel the beat. So, 1, 2, ready, go. Now switch his hands. Because this is right hand and this is left hand, right? Okay, so you're not quite sticking with my steady beat. Do you want to play it a little faster?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just really focus on, like, feeling that beat. Is it too distracting for me to tap your shoulder?
No.
1, 2, ready, go. Okay, there are some times that you were keeping with the beat really, really well. There are some times where you rushed ahead a little bit. It seems as though in between these breaks you're having a little bit of hard time getting to the next thing. But this is just the same thing twice, and this is just the same thing twice.
Yeah. These are all the same thing. That's why
Well,
I
the same thing with the
circled them.
fingers, but this one's going up and this one's going down.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are the same thing. So you should be able to play it all legato like we talked about with Rainbow Fish, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. You did a pretty good job of taking with the steady beat, but we can keep doing it We're gonna get this. 1, 2, ready, go. So you rushed ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you feel that?
Yep.
Okay. How can we not rush ahead?
When we don't hear anything, we don't play anything.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
No.
When we hear anything, when we hear nothing, we don't play anything. Yeah, the reason whatever you tried to read in the level 1 book was probably hard was because it probably looked more like this.
Not really.
No?
It looks more. Says doesn't say anything.
Does it have a staff like this?
Yeah, it does have a staff.
What's different?
Well, what's different is it's really confused.
How is it really confusing?
First thing it does is it goes like this. And then the next thing is well, you don't play this twice. The
Okay.
first time, just play it once and you this. Kind of confusing to read.
Well, aren't those the 5-finger exercises that I taught you on the
Yeah.
first day?
Yeah. And also, one thing I do is I play those 2 notes.
Mm-hmm. Or was that just part of the song?
No, it's not part of the song. When it's supposed to do this note, I play this note instead.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's one of those things that just takes a little bit of practice. Sometimes. Don't try reading anything in the level 1 book until you get comfortable with reading stuff in this book.
Okay.
This book does a fairly good job of explaining staff notation. Let's see. These 2 pages are great because it tells you like where all these keys are, what each of them are.
And where each of them are.
Yep.
And so it shows you that this is C because it has a line through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so these are good pages to look at when you're having a hard time reading something.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just to quickly recap, what are the things that we can work on for Rainbow Fish? You don't have to play it. What are the things that we can work on?
Keeping it connected.
Yep.
Going this way.
Yep.
And
Just start from the beginning and then set your hands. So that's the first position.
And then keeping it connected after you play this line.
Yep. Keeping it connected through all those breaks. And then this is probably easier at home than it is on here, and it's hard to practice this when you don't have a real piano to practice on. But allowing everything to kind of be the same volume almost, or just like balancing it so that one note doesn't like play really loudly and the next one really quietly. And again, that's just hard because you're not very used to playing a real piano, but
I'm used to playing keyboard.
Yep.
Because my other grandma and grandpa, they have a keyboard, and I play the music on it, and I dance to it, that I end up going crazy. I end up jumping too.
Yeah. That's fun. So yeah, those are things that we can work on for Rainbow Fish.
And also